there are defining moments in our lives, and there are defining moments in the life of a Toastmasters club. These moments of truth can make a difference between a successful and a mediocre club. Roger Pritchett will be presenting one of the prepared modules from the Successful Club series entitled Moments of Truth. This will help ensure that our club are using key opportunities in the best way. Please welcome Roger.
Take a look at your blue handout that you have there at your table. We have lots of new members, and we have guests at every meeting. I'm doing a module called, from the Successful Club series, called Moments of Truth. It's designed to help our club evaluate quality standards. In other words, are we doing what we ought to be doing as a club? And so you can see that there are 6 areas listed on this form. We're going to be talking about those just a little bit tonight. When I was a district officer for several years in a row, I often had the opportunity to speak at one of the officer training opportunities. And one of the things that I would talk about was, how do you keep members? How do you get new members? And people often thought that I was looking for ways of promoting Toastmasters, that I was looking for ways of recruiting members. But my mantra for those who heard me teach in those officer training sessions so many times was that the number one issue is not promotion. The number one issue is not recruitment, but the number one issue is sparkling meetings. Having meetings that people enjoy and want to attend. And so when we follow these, when we look at these 6 areas, I think these are things that will contribute to us having sparkling meetings. And the first one is first impressions. And I would like you to write down a word, another word by each one of these 6 sections that I think kind of summarizes that session. Under first impressions, or somewhere in that area, I want you to write friendly. Yes. Have you ever been to a group, some kind of meeting where you didn't know anyone? It's very uncomfortable. And so for there to be even just one person in that group who will approach you and introduce themselves and shake your hand and make you feel welcome, it makes all the difference in the world. And that's what we want to do right here in our Toastmasters Club. Now, some of you who are guests, you need to tell us how we're doing at that. Now, by and large, I think we get pretty good feedback from our guests telling us that our meetings are very inviting and warm and friendly. But it only takes one meeting. It only takes one person who doesn't feel that way for us to have failed. So we need to keep that up. By the way, I don't think it's necessary that we do every single bulleted item on these lists. But I think we need to be well on our way toward accomplishing all of these. Let's move on to the second area, membership orientation. Beside this one, I'd like you to write the words connected and engaged. With all of our new members and with all of our guests, we want people to feel connected and engaged in our meetings. And so that means that once they join, we make them feel welcome. We make sure they have a mentor, someone who already understands the Toastmasters program and can help them understand it. We want them to feel like we understand what they've come to this club for, the reason, so that their needs are being met. When people's needs aren't met, they're going to leave. And so all of you new folks, you help us make sure that we know what your needs are. What are you trying to get from the Toastmasters program? by the way, this is so important. Our executive committee is meeting tonight after the meeting to discuss this, because we realize we have so many new members and we want to make sure that your needs are taken care of. The third area is fellowship, variety, and communication. Beside this one, you could just simply write the word enjoyment. We want our Toastmasters Club to be enjoyable. And so, from time to time, at least twice a year, we schedule social functions outside our regular club meeting, just so that we can get to know each other in different settings. And we encourage one another to get involved with other clubs and with the district conferences. By the way, we've got one coming up in about 3 weeks, if you haven't heard about that. So we want our meetings to be enjoyable. The fourth area, program planning. Now, if there's one area where I think it's important that we do all of the bulleted items, it's this one. And the word to write here is prepared. People who've been in the club for a while know that that's one of the points that I nag about a lot. When you come to a Toastmasters meeting, you need to be prepared. It makes all the difference in the world. And one of the ways you can tell that you're prepared is if the meetings begin and end on time. Bullet number 4 under that. The next area is membership strength. And beside this one, I think you could write the single word energized. That is, are we in an energized club, an energetic club, a club that is vital? And I believe we are. You can see that we have 20 members and more, and we're having guests, and we're keeping our members. I've only been a member of this club for, about 14 years. We do have varied and exciting club programs, and we have membership building programs. And that's because we're all taking part. We all want to make sure that our club is energized. And then finally, there's the area of achievement recognition. Here, you could write the word awareness. We need to be aware of one another. Toastmasters is an amazing organization because everyone joins for himself or herself. I have something that I want to accomplish with my life, and yet we very quickly realize that we can only accomplish our goals when we help other people accomplish theirs. And so when other people succeed, when other people complete a project or a manual, we want to recognize them and give them the honor that's due for accomplishing those things. And by the way, the very last point, the DCP, the Distinguished Club Program, is used for planning and recognition. We are doing quite well with that. Our club has already achieved 7 out of the 10 possible Distinguished Club goals. And I think we're well on our way to getting the last 3. Moments of truth. Evaluate yourself to see how you're doing at this, and then also look to see how the club is doing. Happy Toastmasters.